Let's move on to the Rockets. P.J. Tucker told The Athletic, quote, "It's time for my extension right now." Tucker has 2 years left on his current deal, but only this upcoming season is fully guaranteed. He's got one of the best contracts in the league right now, I think. Royce, you think it's smart to extend Tucker right now if he wants?
I don't know that it's necessarily smart, Brian. He's 34 years old. And, I think it's one of those things where he quite understands the business of the NBA and that it's better to lock up long-term money now for him going forward. And look, in a lot of ways, he's earned it with the Rockets. He's one of their most important players. He's performed spectacularly well in the postseason. So you can understand it from his perspective, from the Rockets' perspective, especially with kind of maybe an uncertain future roster situation for them and the way that they've felt about luxury tax implications. They've got two extremely high-paid players at the top of that roster. I can see it from Daryl Morey and Tillman Fertitta's side.
What would you do if you were in the front office and you had this on your plate?
Well, the first thing I would do was guarantee his contract for 2020-21. He's owed 7.9, 2.6 is guaranteed. Similar to what Lou Williams happened with Lou Williams this previous year. The interesting thing is, yes, he's 34 years old. He's missed one game in 4 years.
Wow.
So I don't want to get the age factor in there. He's eligible for 2 years, $23 million on top of what he's owed right now. But the first thing I would do is I would guarantee that year for next year.
So Matt Barnes was a guy in his 30s, was a defensive specialist. And this was a thing for you, like you wanted to get paid. You had been a role player like P.J. Tucker.
Yeah, it's
a lot of his career. You have to understand where he's coming from.
He's definitely earned it, without a doubt. I think you made a great point by guaranteeing that second year. But it's just going to be interesting to see where the team is going. I think they need a little bit of time to see what this team is. But he's been an integral part the last handful of years. But normally, guys like myself, like P.J. Tucker, like only superstars can kind of make those demands. Like,
right.
Role players, and, he's a very solid role player, probably the best in the game, but role players can't make those kind of calls. So hopefully he gets his money, but I don't know if he will.
Speaking of solid role players, let's go on to a defensive veteran and ace, Andre Iguodala. He's still a Memphis Grizzly, and it's no secret that several playoff-bound teams have interest in adding him to their roster. So, Bobby, Memphis has some options with a trade or buyout here. What do you think they should do with Iguodala at this point?
Well, right now I wouldn't do anything, right? Because he's owed $17.2 million. We're still in the end of August, but I think when we get to training camp, which is at the end of September, I think there's going to have to be the buyout route. I don't see a trade materialize.
It's a big number.
It's $17.2 million. You have to get within, $5 million. Remember, a lot of the free agents who signed cannot be traded until December 15th. So
almost half the league.
Yeah, if you're the Clippers or the Lakers trying to cobble together a deal, the Lakers can't do it just based on all the players. But I think if you can try to get him to take maybe $5 million off of that number, he'll be earned 2.6 with a new team. Maybe that's the direction that you go with. He's made $169 million in his career. So for him, it's based on, do I want to take a little bit of a haircut to go out and try to win another championship?
He also could get a 2-year deal, right, with his new team, and maybe get some money on the back end.
Yeah, either the Clippers or the Lakers can offer him a 2-year minimum contract, similar with Rajon Rondo signed with. So that's certain, maybe with a player option for next year. So that's definitely an option to go. But I don't see anything right now. I don't think they're rushed, but there is probably a little bit of a 4-week window to try to get something done.
Matt, if you were in Iguodala's shoes and you would potentially have to leave some money on the table with your last big paycheck to go play for a contender, would you?
I've left money on the table before. Now I'm thinking, like, why? No. But, Iggy's a very smart guy. I know that we all are probably in agreement he'll never probably end up playing with the Grizzlies. But, I would explore my options, knowing that, what can I get if I do go forward. But I know him either going to the Lakers or the Clippers is a huge, huge, huge deal for those guys. Probably more the Lakers, because I think his veteran leadership and his mentality and the way he carries himself
he'd be great for the
is going to rub off on everybody.
It would be a tremendous signing.
So, I think he'll make the right decision. He's probably out there golfing with Steph right now, just knowing that something good is going to happen. He's most likely going to be in LA, so he's not sweating it.
What makes it so difficult is what you guys are saying, though, is that in terms of a trade, there's only 3 or 4 teams here that are really in the conversation for Andre Iguodala. So in order to put together some sort of trade opportunity, it's almost virtually impossible.
He doesn't want to get traded. He wants to get buyouts so he has a free agent.
And what Memphis got from Golden State, they got $2 million in cash and a future first round. It's almost like they're playing with house money right now.
True.
So how much more do you want to extract from another team?
Which is probably why eventually it'll get worked out.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.